Start streaming, and we're live. Well, they can't hear you yet. Brought to you by Bitcoin Energy Drink, StrokinTokens.com, Monarch Token and the Monarch Wallet, and who the heck else? That's right, Satoshi's Ball in Canada on December 15th, because that's a thing that's happening at a place. Hey, how goes it? Ken Bozak here to talk about Bitcoin and Bitcoin accessories, and today I'm here with my bro from Latium, Kevin Steele. How goes it, bro? Nice to see you again, man.
Hey, how's it going, man? Always a pleasure, dude. Always fun bumping into you out in our travels, dude.
Yeah, no, for sure, dude. I love when I run into you and David and the Latium team, and I'm just like, I get to chill with you guys, man. It's been cool. Why don't you introduce yourself to the audience, let them know who you are and what you do at Latium, and maybe a little bit about what Latium is.
Yeah, sure thing, man. Yeah, so I'm technically what's called the director of growth over here at Latium. So it's kind of, we have one set title, but there's a lot of different things that we do. It's kind of more of a marketing based. I work with doing some business development and some partnerships, just helping continue to build out our audience as we build out our platform. Latium as a platform is actually focused around the general adoption of cryptocurrency, and we do that through a couple core features that we're developing and have live. Primarily, we're a tasking platform where anybody anywhere in the world can actually create tasks to get paid in crypto, and anybody can go online and actually do those tasks to get paid in our token as well. A lot of other features we got on the platform that we get into at some point, but it's everything from multi-wallet support to an internal exchange. We've got free transfers, and then we also have what we call HODL rewards, a way to get a monthly or yearly return on some of the locked up tokens as well.
That's really cool, man. I like the tasking economy concept. Like, how the micro economy is micro task economy coming. Like, it really is. People, oh, I need something to eat. All right, well, hop on Uber and give somebody a ride and make a couple bucks. It's a digital version of that. I've actually been checking out, kind of where, like, you can come comment on this, like this video, tweet this out, make this, or do some, these internet engagements and to incentivize interactions. How do you verify, though, that these aren't bots? Like, people are honestly not creating like 100 fake accounts to, steal money from Latium.
Yeah, so first to start off on, like you said, it's the idea of micro-tasking on a platform is very big right now. That's because if you're incentivizing things that people are either A, already interested in looking at, or B, they can actually find more info on, they're going to do so for that very small incentive. In regards to ensuring that these are real users, that's kind of what sets us apart from both traditional gig economy platforms and other crypto platforms. We found when we made a tasking platform that the minute you incentivize actually getting a task done, like you said, someone's going to make 500 different accounts, they're going to do it 500 times, and they're going to swear this is all different accounts. So we developed a process, what we call proof of human, which is really part and parcel to the entire Latium ecosystem. It's a really simple 5 to 10 second process where a user just goes on and they do like a selfie video of their face. They show the front of their face, the left and the right side of their face. And after doing so, it actually takes that biometric data and puts it into a numerical hash, which we store on the database. If anybody comes and tries to verify another account, it'll actually check based off of that, show the percentage chance of being a duplicate, and then flag it as a fraud attempt if that is.
Well, good thing I don't have a twin brother or something. Is there any issues with that? Do you guys ever have any contact support? Like, yo, my twin brother signed up before me, man, and...
Well, we actually had one guy claim that. It ended up being, we proved that it was not a twin and that actually was just him being fraud. But we do have support systems. We actually have 3 layers of security. So we have our base AI logarithm that actually is checking based off of what percentage it thinks is a duplicate. Then we also have staff that are actually checking, and then we can actually escalate that to us and other staff as needed if for some reason the regular staff really can't see a distinction. So we like to, it's kind of 3 layers of protection to both verify and ensure that it's a true non-duplicate account, and then also to make sure that people aren't getting rejected erroneously in the process.
See, I'm a big fan of, trying to show people not so much how to buy cryptocurrency, but how to earn it. How to be positive contributors to the world in any sense, even if it's a digital way, like, positively engaging with the communities to earn cryptocurrencies rather than buy it. That's why I like Latium and what you're doing. So I would like to, use some crypto, buy some Latium, set up some tasking. So if I want my viewers right now to be able to earn Latium by, maybe sharing this video, liking it, commenting on it, what would that process be for me to set up a task, and what would it be like for an end user to kind of go through the tasking and earning?
Yeah, definitely. So it's a simple process for employers. They simply have to either have Latix already, the LATX, which is the token of Latium, or they can also start from, like, say, Bitcoin or Ethereum or some of the other token pairs that we support. The process would be either sending Latix directly to your account there on Latium, or sending Bitcoin and Ethereum and using the internal exchange there to exchange to Latix. Once you have the Latix for your budget, you can actually sit there and see exactly how many people you want to do your specified task. Like, if we're talking about a micro task where someone's going to view and like and say share your video, you could say, I want to incentivize people, one Latix each per person that completes it, and I want to make 500 contracts. Your budget at that point is going to be 500 plus the 10% platform fee, which is how the ecosystem works. And then you'd be able to have what we call a one-to-many relationship for your task. So if you look at, like, traditional tasking platforms like Fiverr, it's one-to-one. You have one person asking to create a logo and one person completing it. Yeah. But there's really no way to say, I want to hire 100 people to do this thing. That's kind of what's different there about Latium. Like I said, you can build that budget into each task. If you want one person to do one thing and you want to pay them, that's great. If you want 5,000 people to do it, you can also set that as well. Obviously, we talked about proof of human. When you're hiring, you can choose to do proof of human verified only accounts or just regular. So it's always voluntary if someone wants to do proof of human. We're never going to force anyone to sit there and make a video of their face, but we are going to let them know that if they do that unique proof of human verification, there's going to be tasks that are only for proof of human verified, because it's adding, that value and engagement to the employers there on the platform.
Yeah, I went through the verification process. It was really easy. You messaged me like, Ken, did you just sign up? And I'm like, yeah, I did. Because you verified it. There's people at the other end, and it was really cool. Like, it wasn't like we were currently talking. I just went through the process, and you just so happened to see me signing up, and that was cool to know. Like, that is proof of human. And I do worry a little bit about, like, data mining and having all that, like, data somewhere of, like, videos of people's faces. These are the same data that you have on Facebook of selfies and stuff. Like, it's no extra, biometric, secret DNA data like 21 or 23andMe or whatever. But,
we're not sitting there putting a chip in your arm. There's nothing outside of just a picture of your face. Like you said, you're already
listening, going, I'm never gonna submit my photo. I'm like, you have pictures on Facebook somewhere with a friend. It doesn't matter.
Do you use Snapchat? Because guess what? They've got all those pictures.
Exactly. When they scan your face for those filters, that's all they're doing is data mining. So
exactly.
That's not something too extra to give up to prove you're like a real person engaging with a digital ecosystem like Latium. You want to make sure that if you have you want to go through something and you're a verified account, you want to make sure you get what's yours for doing that, and that you can earn more for verifying your account. So if you guys are listening, I will be doing a Latium task for this video, so you'll be able to earn some Latium. After watching this video, look in the description box for a link. Click that link, do the tasks, and you will earn. And you can see what we're talking about. Like, this is the future. A lot of people think, the 9 to 5 is going to be the thing forever, and it's really not. Not with things like Uber, Fiverr. There's so many of these like micro gig economies coming up, but this is how we do things digitally with, don't trust but verify. You don't have to worry. Like, these marketing companies, Kevin, these guys will charge you like $100,000 to promote your pizza shop in, New Jersey. And then they have a bot come in and have 100,000 engagements on it and make it look like your marketing campaign did really well with this company. But really, in reality, it didn't do very well. Maybe 5 actual humans clicked that link, but it was 900,995 that were robots.
It's so true. You look at just the bloated numbers of just every social channel out there, and people it's because they're bots that are pushing it towards, like I said, a lot of that marketing incentive. If you look at even Twitter, they said there's as much as 60 to 70% of all Twitter accounts are fake accounts. And
well,
Twitter
it's easy to set up those bots. I mean, it's just click, plug, play, done, and
there's no reason for Twitter to get rid of them. They want to see those big numbers, and that's all they want to be able to do to sell their marketing.
Investors don't even care if they're real or not either. That's the real point.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's kind of what's different about what we wanted to start from a core of real human engagement, build from that, and then like you said, if you're making a task, one thing that users can know too, just for registering and doing their own proof of human verification, everyone receives 100 LATIX right now just for signing up and verifying. So that's kind of a little bit of incentive. You can also obviously utilize that within the platform. You can keep it in your wallet. You can withdraw. It's completely up to you after you've completed that.
That's pretty cool. So if you signed up today, you get 100 LATIX for free. You could actually start your own micro task, like, send out a tweet and be like, watch this tweet go viral or something. And then be like, set a task for, retweeting the tweet and watch it come to fruition. You know what I mean? That's pretty funny.
No, yeah, it's great. We've seen a lot of different customers that are utilizing the platform for that. They may have a big announcement, and anybody can go somewhere and buy bot retweets, bot accounts, and they're going to go away. You're going to know that it was bots. With this system, you can incentivize people on a very small level to help boost those numbers with real human engagement. So it takes it out of that gray area and puts it into just really getting real people. What I like to tell people too is these people that are here to earn crypto on the platform are already educated about crypto.
Yep.
So if you're talking about a crypto product or you're doing some crypto content, it's not just incentivizing them to blindly spread it. They're also interested in looking at it, especially if there's a way for them to get more crypto and continue, invest in that in other ways as well.
Oh, dude, yeah, I can see this for being perfect for airdrops. I don't know why you see these companies promoting, their airdrops or whatever on things like YouTube and Facebook, where the majority of people that are seeing it don't care or don't understand, when you could be marketing on platforms like Latium or even Steam, stuff like that, where the people who are engaging with that platform actually care about that stuff that you're talking about. You're hitting your demographic already. Your on-ramp you're there. You're using your on-ramp for marketing.
Exactly. No, I totally agree with you, man. Yeah, the core vision, Dave Johnson, who's the CEO of Latium, the core vision around creating Latium was the general adoption of crypto. You mentioned you like people being able to earn and get crypto rather than just buy it, and that's really the vision that we saw. We saw if we wanted a general public audience to get involved with crypto, how are they going to do it? 9 times out of 10, they're not necessarily going to go buy it, but if there's a way for them to go earn it, they're going to do it. And as you mentioned, the gig economy, put even crypto aside for a moment and just talking about the gig economy, it's growing every year. The estimates for, I think, 2017 were close to 30-some% of users in the U.S. in some way supplemented their income, with freelancing, with gig economy. It's expected to go as much as, 40 to 50% by 2020. And that's just because there's ways to make money both in traditional platforms and now crypto platforms to really supplement that income and give you the more flexibility to travel, do what you want to do, in your life.
Yeah, and the whole crypto aspect, I mean, obviously being your own bank is just the best part of being an entrepreneur. You don't have to worry about all these third-party processors, payment processors, point of sales processors, the supply chain processors. All this can now be done with a couple blockchains and one wallet. You're done. You're your own company now. You're your own bank.
Exactly.
You're everything. You're a solvent nation of you, And with the gig economy, the whole crypto part, comes into play digitally, because physical acts, mowing the lawn, ride share, stuff like this, that could be done cash in hand or whatever, mind you. But these digital acts of engagement, or marketing, influencing, campaigns, any of this kind of like micro tasking that companies would like to use, share our tweet, get 5% off, when you come in for a coffee at Starbucks or whatever. They still do this. It's just they want to now know that these aren't bots that are wasting their time and their marketing money. They want to make sure that real people are engaging with these ads, and they want to make sure they're getting real data. Like, the geographic data is really important to small mom and pop shops, and they get kind of pushed out of marketing by Google down that list, way down, and they could spend six figures and still never make it past, if you're a small pizza shop, you'll never make it past Domino's on the top 10 on Google. But that's where it's unfair, and the bots are engaging, and you're not getting real activity. But now these small mom and pop shops don't care. They want to target just their local area. They don't care if they get hits in other states. They just want to get a hit in their town. And that's where they come to these small local marketers, or just the customers. Like I said, it's share our page on Facebook, you get a discount at our small business. Now online you can do this, and you could do it, and it grows exponentially. Like, if I share your business and I'm local, my friends are local, obviously, and they're going to share it to get an incentive, earn some Latium, get some crypto, and now they can engage with that economy. So it's obviously the next step.
Yeah, definitely. You look at just how the different ways we can scale with the different tasks. People try to ask us, well, what can I do with a task? And honestly, it's near limitless. It's something as simple as, like you said, like or retweet something, to as complex as even helping trigger different SEO tactics. We're seeing some consumers where, let's say you want to show better in SEO rankings. If you incentivize someone to go to Google and search for a certain type of keyword along with the business name, and they click on that example, in one time may not have a serious effect on SEO, but you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,000 times, you're actually organically affecting those SEO rankings, which can help build past that.
So if I was a small mom and pop pizza shop, I could use Latium to help me grow naturally on the SEO Google rankings. That's
correct.
Freaking cool. So I could have people earn 1 Latix for Googling Ken Bozak Bitcoin, enter.
Exactly. Yep.
Interesting.
There's so many different, we even, as a team, we brainstorm about different things we're going to use for our own business, for other, customers that are utilizing it, for, new employers of the platform. And we're constantly coming up with different ways that microtask incentivizing people that want to earn crypto. It's just limitless on what you can accomplish with it.
How are the tasks verified before the bounties publicly created? Like, how do we stop bad actors from taking advantage of Latium? Like, oh, go dislike this, post, or go leave a mean comment on my enemy's YouTube channel, or like, how do we stop bad actors from taking advantage of this micro economy? Because I that's the first thing people do when they see something. They try to take advantage of it, and they like to poke at it. So I was just wondering, is there anything in place to kind of help make sure that bad actors don't take advantage of this incentivization?
Yeah, so it's kind of a two-part answer. The first part is, obviously there is moderation by high-level staff at Latium. I would say that, obviously if someone were to create something that was blatantly illegal, that obviously would be removed immediately. With that said, we're still very hands-off on how the ecosystem develops, and that we want it to be organic, and we want users to be driving not only how much is paid, but what the tasks are actually being created around. A lot of users have asked us to put a minimum on task payments, and we've been against that completely, because we don't want to set what the bar is for the value of any type of task. We want the users to organically create that. Now, when it comes to how the tasks are being created, we don't really have a self-governing system yet, but the idea concept that we're working around is like a tribunal system, where the actual, more of a decentralized method, where the actual ecosystem and community of users can actually work on ensuring that a good task and also the reputation of the user is intact. Part of what ties into it is each employee and employer has a reputation score. This is based on tasks you've completed either as an employee or as an employer, and you get rated at the end of each transaction. So part of what we can see, we can start to see those bad actors. If someone just straight up denies some payments when the work was actually completed, their reputation score is going to hit massively. Everyone coming to the platform starts at 500 and then obviously can grow from there. 800 is a soft cap that goes incrementally slower and slower, so that's kind of like that low ceiling. But anybody below 500 has come in and immediately had issues, and is obviously a red flag to, you know that reputation is bad. There's really no reason to continue to work with them. So like I said, on one hand, we're kind of hands off on how we govern, but we're also working on some more systems for the internal ecosystems to help self-govern themselves in a more decentralized method for the future.
It's probably the best way to do it is to, basically give birth to something and let it, evolve naturally and kind of just guide it along the way rather than force it to be something you want it to be. A lot of great companies kind of do this. I mean, even if you look at like Amazon, they didn't really kind of force themselves just to sell books. They grew with their customer base into what they are today because they didn't limit themselves to a vision that they had for their product or for their platform. Like if you limit your platform, that's it. It is what it is.
Yeah, and
you let it
that's
grow naturally.
And that's how we build out our features too. So while like the tasking platform was the core foundation,
which is my favorite, and I know that's not just what Latium is. We're going to definitely get into more of what Latium is, but that's my favorite aspect of it. Honestly, as an end user, Latium, the micro tasking, that pure proof of human aspect, engaging with digital engagements to earn, that is my favorite aspect. But there is so much more to Latium, so please roll that out.
No, yeah, like I was saying but that is very much the core foundation. That's really where we build a lot of these features out of. But like you were mentioning, with Amazon, originally Amazon was only selling books, and obviously they didn't limit themselves. They continued pushing out from there, and obviously very successful. And the same here with Latium, we build different features that we see people are going to want to use, so that if someone comes to the platform and they only want to use one, that's great. But the next person may want to use this other feature, or they may want to use all the features. If we give them as many as possible, we're going to drive that general adoption. I think the biggest issue with marketing in a lot of different blockchain companies now is they're so focused on being one specific niche that they assume that someone's going to – we just look at the average person. Do they want to download 15 different apps to do 15 different set things really well? Or are they going to download that one app that does everything well and according to what they're looking to accomplish? And that's really how you drive that general adoption. Blockchain and crypto needs to push away from very specific niche marketing and development and more think about the actual use case of the user and making it more simplified process. That's kind of the thought process behind each feature that we continue to push out.
So what are some of the other aspects of Latium that companies could use? Like the proof of human aspect. Is there any other ways to incorporate that and use it, or is it just for like the tasking?
So it was developed, like I said, for the tasking environment, but we are building out a B2B API. The idea is that they could actually use it as like a gate for login to their own platform or access to their own platform or services. Obviously, even more secure than, say, something like a Facebook login. Obviously, everyone's familiar with going to a website and it says login with Google, login with Facebook. The idea in the future could be that we can actually use that proof of human verification of a single unduplicated user and use that as a login to access. Obviously, that builds and scales from there.
That would be huge for LinkedIn, man. LinkedIn has like 3,000 Elon Musk profiles. We would love to know which one's the real one.
Exactly. Everything from other social profiles to even traditional digital advertising. If you look at the budgets that are spent on digital advertising, as much as 30 to 40% is just straight, like you said, just bots that are viewing the ads. So if you actually had a way to verify the views of the advertisements and the marketing that you're you're pushing out to all these different platforms and services, obviously the actual return on investment is going to be clear to the advertisers, and the consumers that are utilizing that. So like I said, the B2B API is being built out. Obviously, as we travel to conferences, we discuss with other, different potential businesses interested in that. And we're going to continue to build that out for those different procedures on top of our actual own platform that we utilize it for. As far as different features that businesses can use within the platform, one thing we have is coin cards. There's other businesses that are doing this specifically as their only, as their project, but we just have it as one of the features. If you want any crypto that we currently support on the platform, you can just go in there and you can load that to a coin card, which you can then either print or email out and send to someone. What they get is a redemption code. When they go in, they redeem it. They're automatically set to you as a referral because you send it to them as well. So not only are you referring them, but you're also sending them crypto in either digital or physical form, and they sign up and get that crypto. So that's just really one of the features. Yeah, I remember you got one of the cards and sent it out on Twitter a couple months ago when we were first talking.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool that you can make your own gift card or whatever. Like that's really freaking cool, man. Like I did it as soon as I saw it. I was like, well, I'm playing with this. That's why I like Latium. It works. It's not one of those platforms that's like, oh, when we come out or when we do that. No, it's currently actively being used, and I feel like it's underappreciated for its contribution to crypto adoption. Everybody's all hyped about these projects that are potential or they will come out or wait until. Look, what about the companies that actually have projects right now that work, that have users and partners? And to bring up, are there any partners that you have worked with or are working with or looking to work with moving forward?
As far as partners, we're focusing primarily on our platform to be used by a wide variety of employers. We have been building out our own advisors. There's none that we really want to announce today, but we are in constant discussions with several different businesses, both from crypto conferences as well as traditional industries and experiences. So we'll definitely announce those, as we continue to move forward. But I'd say, going back to what you said about the idea that there's a lot of projects that say they're going to do something, they're about to. I feel like we're still stuck in December of last year where everybody was just white paper promises and people just, started chucking money. And we still haven't fully matured past that. Our focus, we had a general token sale back in December through January of 2017 to 2018. And during the token sale, we actually released an alpha version of the platform live. The idea was, look, we're not just a white paper. We have real development. We have real developers on staff, and here's the core of what we're building. So a very small alpha was actually live during that token sale, and obviously continued into a beta and into where we are today. A lot of different businesses in the blockchain industry were just pouring money into marketing before they had that product to actually show to their users. We wanted to develop that product first before we started even doing any type of marketing. And we're sitting today, at over 120,000 registered users to the platform, which is large to say the least for a blockchain project and application.
Oh wow, that is huge, man. So is there a mobile app or anything for the wallet, or how do users that want to that these 120,000 users, how do they interact with the platform mostly? Is it browser based, web based, application? Is there a mobile wallet, stuff like that?
Yeah, so it's kind of 50-50. Obviously, we do have a mobile application that's on Android on Google Play right now. We don't have an iOS app yet. We actually developed one. And due to obviously the Apple trends of just straight denying a lot of crypto-based apps, they denied that for the time being. So what we're continuing to do as far as the Apple side is build out our community and reputation of our own community so that it gets to a point where we actually reapply, there won't be any issue there as well. But we do, like I said, we do have a mobile Android app. For users that are on iOS, the mobile web version works sufficiently as well. Users are able to see all the wallets. Like I said, the wallets are all built directly into the platform. If they want to deposit or withdraw directly from there, they can do so. As far as the kind of workflow for an employee just come to the platform, they just go to latium.org and they actually see the different tasks that are available. Obviously, they would have to register and for many tasks complete proof of human verification. But after they've done so, they can just apply for a task. Some employers will set to auto hire, others will manually go through each applicant. It really just depends on the employer. I manage a lot of tasks myself, and it really just it varies. If I have a large, like let's say I want 5,000 people to complete something, I'm probably going to auto hire people and just verify them as they complete it. On some of these smaller ones where I'm paying a little bit more, like, say 50, 100, 200 LATX or something, I'm going to actually pick and choose who I hire based on their reputation score. So that's kind of the process for both the employee and the employer, and why the reputation is such an important aspect to the platform. But the employee would just, like I said, apply. Once they're accepted, they can actually state that they're starting the work. Once they've started the work, they can chat with the employer through the chat directly in the system. They can send screenshots of proof or whatever the employer has requested. After they've completed, they just mark complete. The employer then will verify that it is completed and actually send the final payment out. There's quite a few different tools for like mutual cancellation if both parties just can't come to agreement, or if they want to modify the amount. If for some reason something's changed along the way, the user can say, well, I actually would like to get paid this, and then the employer can choose to accept or reject it. So there's a lot of different, like I said, the idea is to continue keeping it as much self-governing and as much as between a relationship with the employee and employer as much as possible.
What exchanges is LATX tradable on? Like, so people that earn this token, how do they, convert it into Bitcoin, or are there any merchants that accept LATX directly? How do people utilize that token outside of the gig economy?
Sure. Well, the first part I would say is there's actually an internal exchange at latium.org. So we actually have our own exchange built out. There's zero exchange fees on LATX pairs, and then there's very minimal fees on, say, Bitcoin to USD or Ethereum to USD on the platform. So obviously the internal
go from
exchange,
LATX to USD on latium.org?
Yes. So if you go to, let me pull that up here and show you. So if you go
I can earn LATX right on latium.org and get USD right from the exchange there. That is.
Oh, I'm sorry, USDT.
Okay, I was gonna say that would be crazy, but even USDT is cool. So people can get a stable coin and have a cryptocurrency that still gives them the power of having a cryptocurrency without the volatility risks.
Yeah.
So that's what matters to a lot of people doing gig micro economies. You know what I mean? Like those pennies and volatility matter. So the ability to earn a volatile token and then get something stable afterwards, that's cool.
Most definitely. And I mentioned USD when I was trying to say USDT, but fiat integration is definitely something we're looking forward in our development pipeline, and we're working on those preparations because we see that as really driving for their general adoption. It's awesome that you always use Bitcoin in your travels, and more power to you. I try to use crypto as much as possible in my daily life, but if we look at the general public, we got to give them those options. They're always going to want to go back and forth between crypto and fiat. That's just the reality of it. So we will be integrating some fiat integrations in the future. Like you said, currently they can utilize any of our supported tokens like Ethereum, OMG, USDT, Bitcoin on the internal exchange. If they would like to go outside the platform, they can freely withdraw to the other exchanges that support us. We're on EtherShift, which is another McAfee Alliance member. They're doing kind of like anonymous instant transfers from one to another. We're also on Bitforex, Coinbase, Livecoin, and Yobit.
Coinbase is awesome. I got to meet those guys. Really cool team.
Yeah. Yeah, was that on the Coinsmint cruise?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They invited me out to their headquarters and everything, and I was just like, I'll just take the hat. I do it for the swag. They were really nice, man. I like those guys, and they have a cool exchange too. So it's really nice to see that this token is earnable, tradable, usable, and it's not vaporware like a lot of this white paper promise bullshit that's been coming out. Again, I think Latium's a little underappreciated for its contribution to adoption. 120,000 verified users, or users in general, majority verified, and that's what I like about the partnerships and the things moving forward is like thinking of these social networks being able to use the proof of human aspect of login with. So I could just log in Twitter with Latium, and then Twitter knows I'm a verified account. They don't have to worry about using any other third party. This is this is the baby steps that projects have to take And people are sitting here talking about, oh, I'm going to buy an ICO and hodl this coin to the moon. I'm like, but it has no users. It has no use case. Latix has users.
Yeah.
It has a use case. It has a mobile wallet. It works. And I'm just saying, man, I'm a fan of the team. I'm a fan of the project. And I think what you guys are doing really is one of the best ways to start mainstream adoption by incentivizing people to just engage with the environment and earn the currency of that economy. And that's exactly what's happening right before our eyes. Where do you see Latium in the future? Like, what's the future of marketing and microeconomy look like in your eyes when Latium has succeeded into this mainstream role?
Yeah, so actually, we've actually released a YouTube video that talks a little bit about our future vision, and as we get to that even more successful range of a platform would be, it's actually the tokenization of ourselves. It's kind of a very even more advanced out there concept, but we build this ecosystem, we build this reputation. And we're really telling people that the true value is in their work production. So in the future, what we're actually developing is the idea that people are going to get their own token that is a value of their work production that they can use within that ecosystem. A lot of advanced, complex, different concepts we're working through with that. But you can actually see it on Latium's YouTube page that actually just kind of displays. It's a 12-minute video, and don't get me wrong, it can get complex and dense, but there's a lot to it and a lot of exciting things that we're going to be doing with that. Like I said, if we're in a successful state, even more so than we are today, obviously we're going to push more towards fiat integration to really have those users coming on board and off board with the currencies as they want, and just continuing to build out our own audience. We're on track at the current rate of growth to have up to 1 million users by this time next year based on our current growth. And we're going to keep doing everything we can to just keep that growth and momentum going that direction, because regardless of whether we're underappreciated now, you continue to push yourself to the point where you have 1 million users, and no one can deny, the growth you've continued to build on that. And, you talk about, trading, you talk about exchanges. Really, people are still utilizing cryptocurrency exchanges on speculation. They're not really trading on the value of the company. You look at stocks, more to a degree in stocks, you're actually trading on the value of what the company's doing and the announcements. In crypto, you're trading on speculation on whether they're actually going to accomplish anything. And that's just part of the maturity, process of the industry and where we're going.
Yeah, well, that's where we're at right now. It's the high risk, high reward scenario. You can throw a dart at a board right now, and there's a good chance it may succeed, and there's also a good chance it won't. But it's up to the investor, really. It's do you believe in the project, or are you just trying to make a quick buck? A lot of the times I buy a cryptocurrency is to invest, and I use quotes because I'm not really investing. I'm not trying to make more money out of the company. I just want to contribute to it because I like the project. I want it to succeed. If there's utility to the token, and the token is tradable and it's volatile, in the future, that platform, if I wanted to succeed and I truly wanted to use it as an end user, then by investing in that token early, I just get to use the platform more freely as the token goes up in value. I get more use out of the platform. So it's like, if I were to be able to pay for 100 years of Netflix streaming service the first year they opened, I might have done that because it was only $2.99. Now it's $12.99. So it's kind of like how I look at these platforms is like, I'm not trying to really make money. I'm just trying to make a better quality of experience for myself on a platform I truly believe in. So there's really two types of investors in crypto. It's the I want to get rich, or I really believe in this project. And it's the people that believe in projects that are going to make off because they do their due diligence, they research, and they end up holding through bear markets, unlike these fiat traders who are going to get caught up in the next bull run, and they're going to lose money both ways. They lost money in the bear market, and they're going to lose money in the bull market.
Exactly. They're not going to know, a lot of a bear market, really what it does is it takes developers, it takes projects, and it forces them to focus on that development. It quiets a lot of communities, it quiets a lot of that noise. But a continued more push by institutional investors and general public, driving that, like I said, the people that lost out on one are probably going to lose out again just because they're not like I said, there has to be a goal to what we're trying to accomplish.
Yes.
We're not just trying to make a digital currency worth money. At the end of the day, that's not, we're actually wanting to make a digital currency that can be utilized in multiple different ways. And that's what all, a lot of these projects, either are or should be attempting to do. And that's why we're so against, a lot of people like, oh, what about these guys? They're competition. What about these guys? It's like, this space is still so small. We shouldn't be focused on tearing each other apart, be it in business competition or even the influencer space as well. Everybody's so focused on, the rat race of trying to grab the tops. Like, develop a product. If you're an influencer, develop, a brand image and continue to push that. And the people that are using your product or following you will see that and will continue to grow through both a bear and a bull market.
So, as a content creator and online marketer, and that word I hate the most, influencer, but, that kind of is what this has become, is like an internet marketing lifestyle that I've kind of stumbled upon for myself as somebody who does that. Is there a way for an end user on Latium, or hopefully maybe in the future, what I would like to see is for me to say what I'd be willing to do for Latix, right? So like instead of a company saying, maybe engage with me for this much, I could have a profile that says I'm willing to engage for X amount per comment, per tweet, per like, per engagement on whichever social network, because of my network, my effect is much larger than maybe say some people that are just signing up for Latium that don't have any social network that would see that they're engaging with your company on a social platform. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So there's kind of two different ways that we're thinking about it. One we're already doing to this day is we're actually doing managed tasks for both, either influencers or different companies. Let's say they want to create a different range of tasks, but they don't actually want to do the work. They actually can work directly with us on a customized basis for us to help create those tasks and then get that content to be created or finished, through incentivized through the system. Kind of what you mentioned, that was offering your services for Latix. That's actually something in our development. We're continuing to build out the features of current one-to-one and one-to-many tasking to then eventually allow for those offer of services, and then even eventually we kind of envision a marketplace. The reason we're not pushing a marketplace or an offering of services yet is we want to continue to develop the platform and tasking platform where it needs to be as we continue to offer those different outlets of services. But we very much agree and see that, if you're making a task to have something completed, you very much may want to just offer your service, and anybody can then apply for and then actually pay you for that service. Kind of a backwards of how the current tasking platform.
Right. It would be like a dual bounty program, right? Is somebody willing to do this for this, and then it's, hey, somebody is willing to do this for this. So it's a dual bounty program, and that's where I really would like to see a lot of these blockchain projects hosting their bounty programs. It makes no sense to see these bounty programs only listed on their websites. Like, nobody knows you exist to help you solve these bounties. But if they were to market that these bounties existed on latium.org, the people could earn Latix by performing these bounties. And it's specifically marketing to that demographic of, blockchain bounty, I don't even know the word for that, like bounty achievers, I guess, like people who achieve the bounties.
Bounty hunters?
Bounty hunters, yeah, there you go. Yeah, the crypto bounty hunters. Like, you're literally speaking right to them. So your bounties go unhunted because nobody knows they exist. So I would like to see that. Is that something Latium's doing? Do you offer like bounties for the platform or things like that? Like, is there any extra ways for people to engage with Latium and earn Latix through their own platform? Do you use do the social media engagement tweets and interactments like that? I guess what I'm saying is, does Latium use their own platform to market?
Yeah, most definitely. We're very much use it. I utilize it for myself personally. We use it, for our own engagement. We will offer, different incentives. If we do like a promotion or a giveaway on Twitter, we're going to incentivize people to take a look at our promotion, earn some guaranteed Latix just for taking a look at it, and then obviously get that opportunity to earn something else, in the future. We're seeing a lot with it being a microtasking platform. There's actually quite a few airdrops that are being put there, either from the actual companies or from people that are giving their referral links, which obviously is another incentive for them to tell more people about an airdrop and then earn some more back for themselves. So most definitely, we're seeing some bounty campaigns for a couple new upstart exchanges as well. They're pushing their social, Twitter, Facebook, and they've actually even promoted some Telegram-based bounties. They had this really cool one where they were giving out like these Bitcoin wallets, and people had to get the private keys as quickly as possible to open it up, and then get the free Bitcoin that was inside. It was a pretty cool little incentive, and they were running almost entirely through Latium at the time.
That's really cool, man. That's like pirate bounties almost, even,
Yeah,
man. That's pretty cool. I like
yeah.
it. So what are some of like the craziest bounties that you've seen? Like, has there been any like odd bounties that have been submitted to the platform, or is there anything that you've been like waiting to see personally? Like, wow, this hasn't been used yet. I'm waiting for somebody to actually utilize that.
Yeah, so I mean, the focus right now has a lot been microtasking. We've seen some more macro tasks that are all I'm happy to see. I knew a guy that I had met through our own Telegram that was like a recruiter specifically for IT. I had 10 years experience in IT before I even got into blockchain, so it's kind of close to my heart. And he was actually offering an incentive where bring me users in a couple different geolocations in the US, and I'll pay you in LATX, if I'm able to get them a job into the position. So he basically was taking his
Wow.
existing recruiting position and just kind of open it up. And the good thing is he allocated a budget, but he didn't have to pay until someone actually brought him someone that he could actually put into a job. So a lot of those salespeople, a lot of those recruiters that are actually doing more of a global wide scale can actually utilize that and scale into
Dude,
that.
that's way outside the box. I mean, I
Yeah.
definitely was not thinking about macro, scaling in that sense. That's a really cool way to think outside the box and utilize a new age platform.
Yeah, most definitely. And that's honestly a lot of times, we'll sit there and brainstorm as a team, and the people that really bring some of these concepts to us are our own users. Like I said, in that case, which is that own user bringing it up. We got users on Telegram, talking daily, and they, bring up some bad points and then also some good points, that we know we sometimes will implement just purely based off of, their requests and inquiries there.
Yeah, man, that's cool. So, what projects are you looking at? Like anything outside of Latium, that you're looking at, or any projects that you use their platforms? I'm just wondering, like, what are you looking at? Like, I know you've been to conferences. I've run into you all the time. What projects have you looked at that are like, wow, this isn't vaporware? Like, I don't want to just, I want to give like a roundabout of like what you see in this space.
No, yeah, most definitely. And yeah, like I said, I could talk about Latium all day, but I like talking about other projects, and obviously I'm involved with others. There's quite a wide range. I've actually met a lot of the guys at a company called Blocks, Blox. They're a really great cryptocurrency portfolio tracker. What I like about them, they're doing auto syncing of almost every cryptocurrency out there. They're integrating both exchange API keys and auto syncing of different protocols directly. So rather than saying I bought X amount of this token, you can just say here's my ERC20 address, and it just pulls everything and pulls the history of the ERC20 address. And then obviously they continue to integrate several different protocols.
Wow.
So I really like the idea of tracking a portfolio without having to manually go in every day. Because if you're doing any kind of trading, no one wants to sit there and say I bought it at this, I sold it at this, and do it manually. This is kind of going backwards in my
And that will
opinion.
keep a lot of people that want to be legit investors out of the space because they don't really have a legit way to report their earnings without doing a lot of homework. That
Yeah.
really incentivizes them not to do it because their time's money. So now if I have to trade and then spend time on my earnings reports to submit to my no, it's not going to work. We do need like a portfolio that does a lot of that, and that's really cool that you can just submit your ERC20 address and it does a lot of the work for you.
Yeah,
That
it's
was
kind of
BlockX.
Blocks, Blox.
BLOX. All right, cool,
Yeah,
man.
so yeah, I actually know quite a bit of the team over there. There's a lot of bad projects in this space, and a lot of good projects. One I recently heard about that was interesting, I think it was called CoinChase, and it actually was the idea that a company that wants to run an ICO will actually run it through CoinChase, which has like an insurance-based system where the first exchange that ICO finishes on, if it goes below, I think something like there was like a certain percentage. I think if it goes below 50%, you actually get your initial investment back automatically through their system. So it's basically like an ICO insurance type system where now obviously a company has to choose to run their ICO through CoinChase, and they're actually obviously have the systems in place so that if it does drop a certain amount, they're going to actually allow these people to get in and out. It's kind of like a less volatile system to allow some more general public people to push in. It was an interesting concept. I think they have a lot that they're going to have to work through to get there, but yeah. I kind of like the concept of what they were working towards.
No, it sounds like that's what an institutional investor would be looking for, is some kind of, protection, investors' protection, what they're used to. I mean, these large investors with millions of dollars are not insured when they invest. They're a lot better off than we are when we put any money into anything. So this isn't anything unusual to what they're looking for. But personally, I think that stuff like that kind of sketches me out, because I don't want to have to think that this route of maybe potentially safely investing into an ICO may be KYC mandatory, credited mandatory. Yeah. A lot of these things now will just create red velvet rope to protect people, but it's really keeping people out that may have a shot at doing well in a market. Like, if you're not a accredited investor and you have a good sense of a market and investing and market movements, you could potentially become a accredited investor, but now that you're not, you'll never be able to get into an IPO or an ICO. So just like these things that are there to insure investors, it scares me, because it kind of feels like it's just going to keep out other potential investors that aren't as well off. Sucks.
And I'll have to check with him. Like I said, I just heard about them the other day. I'm not sure if they're doing accredited investor status, but I do agree with you there. Like, when it comes, I always kind of disagreed with the whole U.S. system of accredited investor, because if the average person wants to put money into something, they should be allowed to. Now, obviously, you have where they shilled it, was their bias. If someone on good standing wants to invest in something or put money towards something because they believe in it, they should have the ability to. And obviously in the U.S., you really can't do that on a great scale or on the majority of any business interest, or you got to use a third party. And then obviously you're paying fees, you're paying, their licensing pretty much.
Oh, yeah.
But as far as like other things, obviously I love the innovation I'm seeing in a lot of the hardware and software wallets. Obviously, I've used Ledger for a couple of years. I've been looking into the Cool Wallet, which I think I saw you doing one a couple times.
I have that around here somewhere. Right? Actually, I keep it on the back of my phone. So I have I have my BitPay card, my ID, and my Cool Wallet, and they're the only three things I carry with me on my phone's back wallet there.
Nice. So what would you say? What would you say is the one platform or service you use the most in your travels? Out of like the one thing.
Cheapair.com.
Cheapair. Okay. I saw them at World CryptoCon. Okay.
You can book a flight. You can book your room. You can rent a car. You can do all the traveling things you need to do through cheapair.com, and they use crypto. So I think I've used their services the absolute most because of the whole rooms and flights and everything. A hard second is BitPay. I'm not a huge fan of them, but they're the easiest way for me to interact from being all in on Bitcoin and then going anywhere in the world and being able to convert that Bitcoin into, US dollar on my debit card, my Visa card, and being able to swipe that anywhere Visa's accepted anywhere in the world. So it kind of feels like I can use Bitcoin anywhere, even though I have to sell it, like cash out little by little. But it gives me the power to hold my entire net worth in Bitcoin on BitPay and then just sell it as I need to, so I can lock in some cash without volatility, use my Visa to pay my rent or my Netflix or whatever, or I could go through other channels that, like coin cards and stuff like that and get like a Netflix gift card with Bitcoin. So there's a lot of platforms I use, but Cheapair and BitPay are probably the top two. Gotcha.
That's cool, man. Yeah, because I always call it kind of fascinating me is, you're going all over the world and then still paying everything in Bitcoin, man. It's like I said, people are making it easier. It's not as easy as it could be, but it's definitely getting there as far as these people really trying to make it. Yeah.
When I first got into Bitcoin in 2015, I couldn't do shit with my money. You know,
Yeah,
we just got word of like the Shift payment card coming out for Coinbase. That's when I first got in. I was like, "Oh, what?
gotcha.
I'll be
Yeah.
able to do this one day, someday, eventually." And then I got it. And you know, as my buddy Bitcoin Jake just said, he uses the Shift card and for Coinbase. And I'm not the biggest fan of Coinbase either, but what they have with the Shift card is really cool. You never even have to sell. You don't have to pre-sell. You just swipe your card and they take a little bit of Bitcoin and they pay off what you swiped for. So you don't have to do the pre-sell. You can just lock it in Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever.
Honestly, yeah, that's the future of really using the crypto. Is like I said, not having to sell off in blogs, but actually having that actually generate in real time.
PondyX is working on a crypto card that's just crypto. Like they have the blockchain point of sale processor, so it's not a Visa, it doesn't do fiat. You just walk into a store. I actually have it somewhere around here. I have a PondyX card.
I saw them doing a proof of them doing it with BNB. I think it was at one of the Bali conferences. Oh, there you go.
So I got the black card here, and I don't want to show my numbers, but I have the PondyX black card, and I have BNB and PondyX and currencies on here. And when I go to a business that accepts it, you slide this in, and it takes the crypto. So you don't have to, it's just a blockchain portal. You don't have to worry about, is the business accepting the crypto? Like they are directly.
I like it. Yeah, I mean, obviously, because the more businesses and vendors that can accept direct crypto and not even have to have fiat in the middle is obviously the future of what we're looking to get to. Obviously, we're going to have those different fiat options for people that refuse. But honestly, the more it gets adopted, the more it gets used. It's just the inevitable.
Yeah, and I mean, it happens with currency evolution. It's not the first time businesses had to slowly evolve into the new currency economies. With Diner Club card first coming out, nobody trusted plastic. It was a scam. Now everybody accepts Visa, or they have an ATM in their store because Visa charges too damn much for small businesses to even accept Visa.
Yeah, no, it's so expensive, dude. And then you even look at some of the others like American Express and others that can go higher.
5% transaction fees for small businesses. American Express is a scam for the small businesses in America. That's really what it is. And then that reflects onto the buyer. So the company has to push that scam onto the customer and charge 5% more for everything in store just to break even on the scam they fell into with American Express. It's a shitty system,
and then even if you're using an ATM, then you're getting charged $3 to $5, or if you're at a casino, like what, $12 to $20,
or the strip club, $25.
Ridiculous sums.
I wish strippers would just accept Bitcoin, even with the volatility, it'd be cheaper than that damn ATM.
That's true. You're like, give me some more Bitcoin, but come on, let's make it happen.
Right,
it's crazy, dude.
So I guess to wrap things up here, I just want to see what your thoughts are on where we're at today with the bear market. We kind of lost what moxie we had during that bull run. What do you see triggering the next bull run? Is it going to be the ETFs? Is it whatever? What do you need to get back to where we were? Because vaporware really got us there. That's what sucks. We got the all-time highs on vaporware. So like, what is it going to take from now to the next all-time high?
I'd say there's a couple different things. Primarily, one thing that continues to happen is businesses that are in the blockchain industry need to stop marketing only to blockchain consumers. What you see is these businesses that are only focused on, we're going to market to existing crypto users. The problem is you make an echo chamber. You create a demographic that you can't expand from. I don't really, I kind of remiss mentioning him. I don't fully like what they're doing because it's a little bit sketchy. Initiative Q. Now, don't get me wrong, they did one thing really good with marketing. I had 4 friends that had never heard of crypto. They're like, "Oh, what's this Initiative Q thing? It's crypto. You know about crypto, right?" And I'm like, these guys reached the people. They actually pushed out and knew how to reach a general public audience. And like I said, regardless of what they're going to accomplish as a company, that's what businesses need to do. They need to reach that general public audience.
Funny, though? As you said that, it kind of made me think a thought. The reason Initiative Q was so good at marketing outside of the crypto space was because if they marketed inside of it, nobody would work with them. We're savvy
Yeah.
enough now to know what a scam looks like. But the people outside of the space do not. So you're right. Maybe these companies that are legit should be looking at these illegitimate companies and taking a note from their marketing tactics, because they do nail it. Like, the scams have nailed the marketing. And unfortunately, it's the real platforms with real users that the companies are, you know, maybe too busy being real. That's why the scams have so much time to market. But take a page out of that scam book. You're right on marketing, because a lot of people have hit me up about Initiative Q, and I consider it to be a scam in every sense of the word. I mean, I think I saw at one point they were offering what they said was $2,000 guaranteed worth of their token for your email address and a referral. What? No.
They were like guaranteed. That's why I was like, I'm remiss to mention them, but their marketing, it reached. Like I said, when my phone started blowing up and I started seeing Facebook from people that have never looked into crypto talking about it, it was like, well, shit, they did something right in their marketing, regardless of the core who they are. So like I said, definitely that general adoption, and I think gamification is going to be huge. You look at, you know, we have crypto apps that are, you know, let's say some of the ones at the top, like Blockfolio, have a couple million downloads. You have some of these shitty games. Well, we got some of these shitty games that are like hundreds of millions of downloads and hundreds of millions of users. Gamification is what's really going to drive a lot of it. It's going to be that 18 to 35 crowd that's primarily going to push it.
I had an hour conversation with Blockfolio in Vegas at World CryptoCon, consulting them on how I could perceive them gamifying Blockfolio. So
gotcha.
Yeah, they're going to be in touch with me, and there's a good chance that Blockfolio will gamify the portfolio game, and it'll be potentially my doing. Like, I was just really high, and I was standing behind the founder of Blockfolio line, and I just tapped him on the shoulder, and I was like, hey, I like Blockfolio, but you know what would be really cool? And we got to talking, and now we talk. I'm just like, dude, I love Blockfolio. I love that you said gamification, and you mentioned Blockfolio, because I thought that there's a real lack of gamification in Blockfolio. Like, I don't want to give away all my ideas to another, you know, company or whatever, but like, I'm talking to Blockfolio about this, so it's just really cool that you said that. It's like, awesome. It's awesome. It's a sign. So last question, wrap things up here. What is your elevator pitch for Latium? You know, like, you hop in your Uber, you're wearing your latium.org shirt, your Latix token, and he looks at you and goes, what's that?
So I'd say Latium is a way for anyone, anywhere in the world to earn or pay for tasks in crypto. And then with the focus of driving the general adoption of not just Latix, but cryptocurrency as a whole to that general public. We do that through proof of human, which is the way of verifying that each user is a single unduplicated human user, and to keep that fraud down and actually add value to those tasks that are being completed and created on the platform.
Awesome, man. Well, dude, Kev, thank you so much for coming on, man. Give my best to David over there in the Latium
For sure, dude.
Check out the links in the description box below, everybody. There will be a link below for you to earn Latix to interact with this live stream. So I'll have it set up to where you can earn for liking the video, commenting, stuff like that. So if you watch this video and you want to earn some crypto, link in the description box below. It'll say earn crypto here, and I'll set up a task for you guys. I want you guys to sign up for latium.org and earn Latix and really get a sense of where the future of microeconomy is going, and, you know, just get your hands on some of this for free. Like, you can just earn it, and that's what I want to do for you guys. So if you watch this video, please go ahead and pound that thumbs up button, click subscribe, and flick the alert bell. It's right next to subscribe. You'll get a notification every time I go live. I'll be doing a live stream every day, so just stay tuned for another one. And Kev, thanks again, man. Everybody have a day.
Hey, thanks, Ken. Take care.
All right, guys, so this episode was sponsored and possible by Satoshi's Ball in Ottawa, Canada. That is on December 15th. Monarch token and the Monarch wallet, available on iOS and Android desktop and Mac. Look in the description box below for those links. Also, Bitcoin Energy drink. The link is in the description box below if you would like to get yourself a case of Bitcoin Energy. And huge shout out to StrokenTokens.com, bountifying adult content on the blockchain. Thank you guys and have a day.